mirror shadow of what was once great.
Before it's too late, we claim your place. Empires morph and protect your DNA. We trace the code, blockchain nodes, gold standards. Immortal soul, blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh. This switching the boards, it's not checking his chest. Put the fame to shame. Remember your name, call me Kurt. Choctaw on my veins, escape the labs, erase the fabs. No more silent cries. I see the snakes in the grass. People despise us, right inside us.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the main man, Content Kurt. I'm back again with critical thinking. And this one right here, gonna deal with your independence. That's right, it's gonna deal with your independency and how important it is. You know, you have to be able to move and think independently in order to survive, especially when you're dealing with narcissists. Because if you don't, they will control you. And I'm gonna start this one off with learn how to make decisions on your own. You don't need people, whether it's your friend, a person you're dealing with, family, anybody. You don't need them to help you with your decision making. That's yours. That's your God-given ability. You was born with this ability to make your own decisions. You don't have to get no one's approval on it. As long as you trust everything that's going on with you and your thought pattern on what your final decision is going to be, you make that decision and you stand on it. You know, whether you're a man or a woman, stand on your own point. Stand by your decisions. That's one of the most important things when dealing with this, especially with critical thinking. You know, your independence is going to play a key. It's going to play a key role. I mean, it's going to play a major role on a lot of things that happen to you, especially when you're navigating through this thing we call life. You know, make decisions and be decisive when you make those decisions. Please be decisive in making those decisions. Very important. And also, learn to trust your gut. You know, sometimes we hear that little voice in our head and it say, I shouldn't go around this corner. Or maybe I shouldn't open that door. Or man, I should stay here a little longer. No, it's time for me to leave. I should leave right now. Those little thoughts or things you hear in your head, that's the real you. And it's trying to give you a heads up. Trust your gut. I'm gonna get into the real you, the God you, but that's gonna be later on in critical thinking. But right now, we're dealing with being independent and how it's gonna help you, especially when you're dealing with narcissists. Okay? So, yeah, man, trust your gut. Your gut always knows. You know, that voice, when you hear it and it's telling you something, it's telling you something for a reason. To be aware of something that's not beneficial to you. You know, it's just your gut feeling, or your inner voice, the God you, or whatever you want to call it, is trying to protect you. That's the intuition, that things we think about that seem somewhat not right. It's time not to hang around. Yeah, you need to listen to it. It's very important. Very important. Also, we have to nick the urge to explain ourselves. Man, listen. You was born in this world alone. You're gonna leave this world alone. Best believe me. You don't have to explain yourself to no one, man. Stop trying to get people approval. You don't need their approval for anything, man. You don't have to explain yourself or the decisions that you made. You know, that's, I think, and that's where a lot of people get caught up or tripped up, especially when dealing with narcissists. We feel like, oh, well, the reason I did this is because X, Y, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. You don't need to do that. No, you just say what it is and you stand on that. Live with that, you know, and let them know, you know, this is what it is. This is the reason why I made that decision. You know, don't explain yourself. Stop it. Stop. You don't need to do it. You don't have to explain yourself to no one. You are your own person. Stop doing it. You do not have to explain yourself. Nick the urge to explain yourself to other people. It's not important. Get it out your head. All right. Next, and I see this all over, man. I see this all over, right? A lot of people, man, especially when dealing with socializing with people in this world or social media or anything, they get on here, man, they put a mask on. I mean, they put on this performance mask so big, they become this person you never even seen before. They just act, they putting on show. They got this mask on and they're being someone that they're not. You don't have to put on a mask and pretend to be anybody. You know? Live in your truth. You don't have to be anyone. Live in your truth. Be yourself. You know? Take off this social mask while walking around, making jokes, being trying to make people laugh. That's not your job to make people laugh, you know? Unless you're a comedian. But that's not your job, you know? You don't have to appease anyone, you know? It's not up to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. You don't have to need that acceptance. You know, you don't have to, oh, well, let me do this so everybody accepts it. You don't, especially when you don't know social media. You don't know these people. You don't owe them anything, you know? Even in the world, when you go out in stores or you're dealing with people, you don't have to approve. You don't need their approval for anything. Take off that social mask, man. Be yourself. Live in your truth. When you speak something, mean it, you know? Very important. Very important. You do not need that social mask. Take it off. Not important, man. Not important. You got to get important. You got to get used to people hearing your real opinions. You know, let them know your real opinion. This is how I feel, and that's what it is. I stand on that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. When you out there and you're dealing with, especially, man, listen. One thing narcissists can't stand when you have your own opinion, or when you're opinionated. This is how I live. This is what I mean. I said this, and this is what I'm standing on. You don't have to explain it. Like I said earlier, it's not your job to explain it to them. This is what it is. You know, they'll try to get you to explain it. They'll want you to try to do that. It's not your job. Don't worry about it. They'll get over it. You know, live in your truth. Be yourself. You know, practice assertiveness. Be assertive with a lot of things that you do. You know, don't just play the background, play the back role. Don't be, oh, well, I'm just going to let this sit and I'm not going to really do anything. You're going to let people say whatever they want to say to you and you're not going to speak up for yourself. No, if it's wrong and it offends you, you let them know that's very offensive and I'm not going to take it. You know, be assertive. Speak up for yourself, you know, because guess what? Your job is to protect you. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your heart. You have to. Remember, when you're dealing with these people, they don't care anything about your heart. They don't care anything about it. They could care less. It's your job. You're responsible for taking care of yourself. Your soul, your inner being wants you to protect it. Like, okay, you're just going to let someone abuse you mentally, and then the mental sooner or later becomes physical. The mental can become physical. Don't let them in, folks. Don't let them in. It's not good. It won't be a good thing. You know, protect yourself. You know, be assertive. You know, let people know where you stand. Set boundaries. Set clear boundaries. Man, let people know exactly what your boundaries are and why and how you want to be treated. This is why I want to be treated this way, and you're not going to do this. So if they're getting used to saying things, making little slick remarks like calling you dumb or man, well, you crazy, or saying things that's insulting to you, because you know when something insults you. People act like that's that mask, acting like it don't hurt when it does hurt. When they say things and it hurts you and you feel it deep down in here, you feel it down in that soul and it hurts you, speak up on it. Don't let these people get away with that. Don't let them get away with it. They're not that important to you. Don't let them get away with that. You got to protect yourself. You protect yourself. If you don't do it, no one else will. No one else will. There's not a protect your heart police out there that's going to come up and save you. It's not going to happen. You have to protect yourself. You know, you're responsible for you. You're responsible for you. I can't stress this enough. I can't stress this enough. Don't let it happen. Okay? Don't let it happen, man. This is them boundaries, man. Them boundaries. Just make these people treat you the way you want to be treated. Make them treat you the way you want to be treated. If they're acting a certain way, and you don't have to be there. Remember, if you're around their house or you're out with them or they're in your family or they're your friends and they're saying something, like I said earlier, and it's offensive to you and it hurt your feelings or it was out of bounds any kind of way, it's time to put a stop to that right then. Put a foot in it and let them know, hey, I'm not with it. I'm not that person. You know, and guess what? When you do that, they're going to respect you. Or they're going to start to respect you. And if they don't, guess what? You don't care. You leave. You don't have to deal with it. You are your own person. You are your own person. Independent, and being independent is very important. It's going to help you with life in general. Like, I'm not going to go and spend a whole hour on being independent and why it's important, because I think by now you guys get the point of why it's important. And if you don't, not only with your heart, but your mental status, your mental state, and the soon will become your physicals. It brings stress on your body, man. It brings stress on your body. Keep hearing things that's insulting to you, and you keep taking it mentally. You just mentally taking this mental abuse every day. They just beating you down with this mental abuse, and you're taking it. I'm gonna ask you one question: why are you taking it? You don't have to. You don't have to take this from these people. You don't have to take this from these people. You are your own person. You control your own destiny. Don't let no one else tell you anything different. Okay? Be assertive in your life. Speak up for yourself, and everything will come full circle. Everything will come full circle. You know? And know that you're loved, man. I can't stress that enough here on Critical Thinking, man. You are loved, man. You are loved. And you have to know that no matter what, you have your own back. That's right, you heard me. You have your own back. Pretend, I want you to do this sometime. Pretend that you're in this world all alone, right? No one's going to bail you out. No one's going to be here to protect you. No one here to save you. And you're managing your life day to day, right? So you're saying, how am I going to eat tomorrow? Or how am I going to eat 2 weeks from now? And you have a certain amount of money. You know that you have to budget from now to next week. That means you don't go and do something or spend a whole lot of money today and then tomorrow, you know, you only have half your money left and you still got another 2 weeks left. Learn to budget. Now, I know you're saying this, why did he just insert this into what he was saying earlier? Because the importance of that and why I did it like that is because sometimes things happen in life that's catch you off guard. And that's what I did. I caught you off guard right then. Because you know why? You walk around thinking that your life is going to be in a perfect straight line and you're not going to be met with adversities. That's not the case. That's not the case. And being independent means you don't have to bend the knee. You don't have to fall victim to these people. You know, you don't have to be at these people's mercy. Because sometimes if you're in a financial burden or you're in a place where you need their assistance and now you're more subjective to listening and being those things I explained to you how to be earlier, now you'll be more submissive to the things they're saying or doing to you. You know, because guess what? We don't think this is so, but I'm telling you, financial burden it opens up a lot of spaces and a lot of people. It opens you up to being victimized by certain people. You know, when you allow yourself to be needing these people, especially with narcissists, they feel like they have a control over you financially. You're more willing and open to suggestion. And even when you gain your financial ability back to take care of yourself, guess what? They already got a hold on you. You've let them in the door. They're in the house and they're occupying one of your rooms. In here. And that's the place you don't want them. You want to figure out how in the hell did they get there. And it's already too late. Love yourself, man. Know yourself. And that's how I'm going to pretty much end this one right here. Everybody needs to get to know yourself. If you get to know who you are, man, you get to know that person that's inside. That person, that little kid that had that joy, that had those dreams, those aspirations of being this or being that. And then throughout life got beaten down, whether it was on TV, whether it was friends, family, whatever entered your mind and started tearing you down from being the person that you was. Those dreams that you had of being who you wanted to be. And you allowed them to get in and they beat you down, and now it got you this shell of a person. This is the time now. I'm telling you, wake up. Because you're still in there. Wake up. You have your whole life ahead of you. Your whole life's ahead of you. These people do not have control of your life. You are an independent person and you're loved. You're loved. Like I said, get to know yourself. Get to know yourself. You will fall in love with that person that's on the inside. You will fall in love with them. They are amazing. Once I got to know Kurt, man, listen. Once I got to know Kurt, man, I fell in love with him, man. I found out things I didn't even know. I was so cut off from expression and just living life, man. I was cut off from so many of those things, you know. I don't mean to rant. I know it's kind of going a little overtime with this, but man, I was conformed, man. I was raised up by great parents, man. Shirley and Jane Trumbull. They raised me up to be an awesome person, man. I don't regret none of my childhood, none of it, man. I enjoyed it. But through life, whether it was the educational system in school, putting their thoughts in my head, making me this person that I should be, they thought I should be, and then joining the military. They're putting their input and their thoughts and things. Then later on, become the correction officer. Those things. All those things played a role of becoming this person that I thought I was. Like I said, I'm going to get into all that a little later in critical thinking. But it wasn't until I accepted and I said, you know what, man, I'm not working past a certain age. I'm going to start living life and I'm going to be free. I'm going to be free, man. I'm going to be free to think. I'm going to be free to live my life. And I found me a life partner, man, that thought and lived the same way I lived. It just so happened she was working the same job I was, and she had the same thoughts, man. And once we embraced, I'm going to listen to me closely. Once we embraced being who we were independently, not even together as a couple, but being independent, embracing who we were and starting to understand who I was as a person, man, that's when all this became about. Look at this. That's when all this world became accessible. I learned how to tap into the universe. I learned how to tap into life and found out how I could manifest things for myself, man. And let me tell you, man, it becomes amazing. It becomes amazing. But guess what, y'all? It starts off with being independent, thinking for yourself, trusting the real you, that God in you. Trust that person. Trust it. It'll never steer you wrong. It'll never steer you wrong, man. Trust it. If it's something good, it's telling you, hey, don't do this, do that, or this person isn't right for you, listen. It's you. I mean, it's you. You are telling yourself that, hey, this person isn't right. How do you not listen to that? Trust yourself. Don't let no one put you down, because you're worth more. You're worth more. You're valuable. Your life means everything. Not just to you, but to me too. And everybody's tuning in on this channel, Critical Thinking. This channel is about love. It's about self-respect. It's about healing. This channel is about critical thinking. Now, I'm Content Kurt. Always love. We out. Peace.